Hi there. Hi there. Oh, yeah. That'll happen. That'll happen.
Hi, I'm here, Bill.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. Fine, that's great.
How soon do we do this? How soon do we do our...
Ray Palavecchio's not dressed.
Yeah. Are we going to do this thing? We better do it.
Calvin Turner's dressed.
West Virginia won the toss. From Beaver Stadium in University Park, Pennsylvania, it's the West Virginia Mountaineers versus the Penn State Nittany Lions. Hello, everyone. With George Paterno, this is Ray Scott. Beautiful afternoon at University Park. Temperature about 41 degrees. They tell us that there will be no snow or rain this afternoon. What do you expect from West Virginia, George?
Well, Ray, West Virginia has an outstanding quarterback in Oliver Luck, a potential Rhodes Scholar. He's thrown the football for more than 4,000 yards in his career, 36 touchdowns, and they rely on him to put the points up there. That plus a stout defense. So this could turn out to be a passing duel with West Virginia putting the ball in the air as much as 40 times.
I understand that West Virginia will be without at least one of their regular defensive tackles, in a word. Is that right?
Number 99, Calvin Turner, who's been their stalwart on defense, is listed as not to play.
Very well. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. West Virginia's Mountaineers won the toss. They will have a freshman, Willie Drury, number 48, and number 34, Al Bolden, back for the kickoff from Penn State's Brian Franco, before yet another sellout crowd at Beaver Stadium at University Park. Officials for the game: Raymond Bauer, the referee; Lawrence Ellis, the umpire; Donald Duman, the head linesman; Earl Purdy, the line judge; Grady Ray, the field judge; Dennis Phillips, the fact judge; and the clock operator is Dan Sullivan. And so the team voted number one in everybody's poll, Penn State, against a time-honored rival, West Virginia. Mountaineers have lost only one. This will not be run out by Al Bolden. So West Virginia's Mountaineers, led by number 12, Oliver Luck, puts the ball in play from the West Virginia 20-yard line. We expect that the starting running backs for West Virginia will be number 33, King Harvey, a freshman from Dublin, Virginia; number 46, Damon Beasley, a senior from Akron, Ohio. One of the leading targets for Luck has been the tight end from Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania, number 85, Mark Rao. He is wide to the right. Rich Collins is wide to the left. That was King Harvey, number 33, carrying on first down, brought down by tackle Dave Ofer.
Dave Ofer made the stop.
Gain 2 yards. And it would appear that Coach Don Nealon of the Mountaineers will be using a shuttle system today, George, bringing in the plays. play game 2, second down 8. No place to go. And a loss of a couple of yards.
This is the exact same play from a split backfield. They open their tight end, passing formation, and they come back to the draw play again to Harvey. This time he makes no gain. 3rd and long.
Mullins, number 88, is to the left. The flanker, Gary Mullen, number 1, and Rao, the tight end, are out to the right on 3rd and 10 Mountaineers from their own 20. Oliver Yuck apparently about to put the ball in the air for the first time. Incomplete. He had Hollins there, but a big rush for Luck.
They put a blitz from the inside. The both inside linebackers came. As we said before, Oliver Luck had to rush his throw and just missed the completion to Hollins, number 88.
Robinson and Kenny Jackson. Mark Robinson and Kenny Jackson back for the expected punt from junior Jody McCown. Fairly short. Fair catch was the signal. Penn State will allow it to roll to around the Penn State 30-yard line. So now our first look at this, what has so far been basically ground-oriented Penn State offense, and the starting tailback will be number 44, John Williams. George, tell our viewers the reason.
Well, there's a rumor that Kurt Warner is partially injured, and Joe Paterno wisely does not want to aggravate that injury. He's going with another promising running back, John Williams.
The fullback, Mike Meade, behind Todd Blackledge. John Williams, number 44, the tailback. He's a good one out of Somerville, New Jersey. Kenny Jackson in motion. The Penn State 31. The fake was to Williams, and he overshot Jackson at midfield.
Well, they went to play action pass, and the first down, he had the tight end, Vito Cat, coming across wide open and missed him.
So, second down 10 from the Penn State 31-yard line. West Virginia defensively. Basically a 3-man, 3-down lineman, 4 linebacker defense. Jackson in motion again. This is Williams.
He can fly.
He was out of bounds at the Penn State 38-yard line. So what looked like a very long run will be a good one, but short of a first down.
This is called back as he stepped out of bounds, but Jonathan Williams shows his speed. Gets a good block from 85 Cab, sees the sidelines, stepped out, tried to tightrope it, but he shows he's got blazing speed.
For Williams, an 8-yard pickup to the Penn State 39, second down 2. The down linemen for West Virginia are Campbell, 91, Oblak, 55, Ruzeski, 86. Jackson and Garrity wide to the left. John Williams, it appears he has the first down at the Penn State 43-yard line, and so signaled by referee Ray Bauer. And another capacity crowd of over 84,000 at Beaver Stadium, and a Mountaineer was injured on that play.
Well, you know, Ray, in the change between Warner and Williams, Penn State won't lose any speed because probably Williams in straightaway speed has a step on Kurt Warner. What they lose is a little bit experience and more game experience and a little tougher runner.
Coach Don Nealon. And you know of Don from his past coaching experience, George.
Don has been successful for every place he's been at. He was from originally Bowling Green, and then he got the job at West Virginia off the Michigan staff under the tutelage of Bo Schembechler.
Mountaineer linebackers are Darrell Talley, 90. The injured player is Dale Ruzeski, a starting tackle.
Well, let's watch Ruzeski, 86. Defensive tackle. He stands him up. Number 90, Talley comes across this. Twisted his knee right there.
Number 86.
86.
Dale Ruzeski. And this is the department where the Mountaineers are very thin. Now they have to move in a sophomore, Rich Walters, who, as far as game experience is concerned, Walters has never played a tackle spot. but he's in there now. First down, Penn State. Penn State 43-yard line. No score early in the quarter, first quarter. Long count by Blackledge. Kenny Jackson, first down, West Virginia 43.
And I like to see that. That time, first down, Kenny Jackson, single coverage. They check out and they hit him on a quick post. If the ball wasn't thrown so high, Kenny might have taken it all the way in. Watch it, just 1-2, two-step drop. Here he comes on a post. Made a great catch. He had to climb the ladder for that one.
Callie, Folks, Dean, and Seals are the Mountaineer linebackers. At the corners are Newberry and King. Williams, big hole. Inside the 30 to the West Virginia 28-yard line. Brought down out of the secondary by Lynn Murray.
Watch the blocking on this play. This is just a sweep to the left. Williams follows his interference nicely, cuts upfield. Now, if he stayed to the outside, possibly could have taken it all the way.
We'll give you this awesome Penn State offensive line in a moment as the Nittany Lions have a 1st and 10 at the Mountaineer 28-yard line. Jackson again is the man in motion. Here comes Williams.
Oh, boy.
Down to the West Virginia 14-yard line. Tim Agee out of the secondary. Steve Newberry out of the secondary had to make the tackle.
And they're picked. Here's the way it looks if it's coming at you. Let's watch the hole here. Williams cuts back to the inside over Sean Farrell, now to the outside. He got a great block from 82, Kenny Jackson, to the inside. Tries to get to the sidelines. Another nice game. Great blocking.
1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line of West Virginia. Jackson reversing his direction of motion. There goes the fullback, Meade, down to around the 9-yard line. Mike Meade coming into his own this year.
Ray, you can't say enough about Penn State's offensive line. They're picking up where they left off last week against Syracuse. They're crisp as the air. They're just blowing people out of there.
The offensive line, Bill Kant, 79, Mike Munchak, 78, Jim Romano, 53, Sean Farrell, 62, and Pete Spiros, number 56, getting a start today at a tackle spot. The tight end is Vito Cab. 2nd down, 4 at the Mountaineer 9. Meade again. This time the hole closes in a hurry at the 8-yard line. Penn State will have a 3rd and a bit better than 2 as junior Todd Campbell of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, made the stop.
This is good, solid defense. When you fill a hole and you got a 230-pound fullback coming at you, this time to give the ball to Meade is a changeup. Makes about 2 or 3, but they're shy of the first down.
New tight end Mike McCloskey joins Vito Cab. So the one wide receiver, Jackson. 3rd down. About 3 for a first down.
Up inside.
Williams. He is very close to a first down. He needed to reach about a foot inside the 5 for the first down.
Now let's watch this, Ray. When they put 2 tight ends, that means they can go either way. They go to the left, it's a sweep. Now this is intelligent running. They need the first down near the goal line, and Williams takes it up top and gets that first down.
The measurement is for the down. About a foot short. The defensive players signal to their coaches a foot short. Todd Blackledge signals to the Penn State coaches a foot short. Penn State is going for the first down. 4th and about a foot at the West Virginia 5-yard line. We've played 5 minutes. There is no score. West Virginia had the ball for 3 plays, had to kick it away. Penn State comes up 4th down and a foot away from a first down at the West Virginia 5-yard line. Blackledge gets the first down at the 4.
Well, you know, Ray, for some strange reason, West Virginia did not go into a short yardage defense or a goal line defense. They stayed in that 3-5 defense, and there was plenty of areas for either the quarterback sneak or a straight handoff to the fullback, and Penn State made the first down.
1st and goal to go at the Mountaineer 4. Now, West Virginia will make 2 substitutions. They will bring in Gerald Queener, number 56, for 1. sometimes a linebacker, sometimes a defensive lineman.
They're put in to go into the goal line defense, as we just spoke about before.
Jackson, the only wide receiver in motion. Williams gets down to the 2-yard line. Rich Walters, the sophomore out of Glenshaw, Pennsylvania, called into emergency duty because of the tremendous loss because of injury at the defensive tackle position.
And that's where Penn State's attacking him, Ray, right now. They're running off tackle almost every play, even the wide plays are cut back off tackle.
2nd and goal at the Mountaineer 2. 9 minutes to play first quarter, no score. Williams did not get in. He's about a foot shy, so marked by the officials. It will be 3rd and goal. Jeff Dean, one of the Mountaineer linebackers, made the tackle.
Penn State continues to attack the off-tackle hole. There's a straight handoff to Williams. Gets to the goal line, but he does not get across. Good defense.
McCluskey is the tight end on the left side. Cab on the right side. 3rd and goal, a foot away from a touchdown. There was premature motion. Whether it was by the offense, which caused the defense to move, we'll wait to see. It could have been some of the Mountaineer defenders were anticipating the snap count. Let's see. Illegal procedure against Penn State. It will be 3rd and goal from 5 yards away now.
They're tough penalties for any team to take.
Penn State, with 3rd and a foot to go for a touchdown, was penalized 5 yards for illegal procedure. As a result, it is now 3rd and goal just outside the West Virginia 5-yard line.
And we're in a passing situation. Look for them to force both tight ends off play action.
Long count by Blackledge. Fumble. West Virginia has it. So West Virginia's defense plus 2 critical Penn State mistakes, and the Mountaineers have the football.
Penn State elects to go to an option instead of the pass. He had to play. The pitch was a little behind Williams. He's got to learn to slow up a little bit so the quarterback can get him the ball at the turnover.
A pause in the action, the score. West Virginia nothing, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. And at the Mountaineer 12-yard line, 1st down, 10, West Virginia. Here's the tailback, Harvey, smothered at the 14-yard line by Rich D'Amico. West Virginia had the ball, only 3 plays on their first possession, then were forced to punt. So let's identify the Penn State defenders. Walker Ashley, 37. Walker Lee Ashley. Dave Oper, 67. Leo Wisniewski, 69. Rich D'Amico, 66. The linebackers are Bradley, 86, Pritz, 61, and Sefter, 41, in place of the injured Chet Parlavecchio, who did not dress today. 2nd and 9 at the Mountaineer 14-yard line. Oliver Luck, complete, short of a 1st down at the 20. Roger Jackson made the hit on wide receiver Rich Hollins.
Very dangerous pass. Almost, this is the replay. You see how dangerous it is. As you see a double coverage come over there, it took perfect execution. Down he goes.
West Virginia, 3rd and 2 at the Mountaineer 20. 6:50 to play first quarter, no score. Penn State fumbling away an opportunity, and West Virginia recovered at the Mountaineer 12-yard line. Luck going to the air. He has a 1st down at the Mountaineer 29-yard line. Oliver Luck, brilliant West Virginia quarterback, brought down by Leo Wisniewski.
That was a... Well, this is a nice play by Luck. He sees the pressure coming from the outside now. Sees that he's got a good block up to the inside. Runs for daylight. Gets as much as he can out of it. He's a fairly good runner.
Nicky Walzak, a junior out of Saratoga Springs, New York, number 42, is in the West Virginia backfield now. He's running from the fullback spot with Harvey, the deep back, in the I. 1st and 10, West Virginia. This is Walzak, getting very short yardage before he runs into Leo Wisniewski, 69, and Rich D'Amico, 66. The Penn State cornerbacks are number 12, Paul Langford, and number 49, Roger Jackson. Harry Hamilton, number 17, plays what Penn State calls the hero position, and Mark Robinson, number 32, is the safety man. 2nd down, 9, West Virginia at the Mountaineer 30. 5:40 to play first quarter, no score. Hollins to the right, Rao and Mullen to the left. Luck, good protection. This is Walzak, another West Virginia first down before he's brought down by Steve Sefter. And the Mountaineers now have back-to-back first downs and have excellent field position.
And Oliver Luck shows what he does well. He looks over his receivers, can't find anybody deep, and he throws to number 42, Walzak, who's one of his leading receivers. That's Walzak's 11th catch of the year. It takes poise to dump off to a back underneath the coverage like that.
Damon Beasley, 46, and Mickey Walzak, 42, are now the running backs. First down at the West Virginia 41-yard line. Very little running room for Mickey Walzak. Gain 2 yards. 2nd down, 8. Ed Fritz made the tackle.
Well, the pattern of the game so far, Ray, is pretty evident that West Virginia is having tremendous difficulty running, and have gone to the air with pretty good success.
2nd down, 8 at the Mountaineer 43. 4.5 minutes left first quarter, no score. Mullen goes wide right, Hollins wide left. The tight end, who was split out earlier, is now up on the line of scrimmage. Ball batted in the air by Ashley and almost kicked out of the air by another defender, but Walker Lee Ashley made the play for Penn State.
Well, once again, they put the rush on. If we can catch it here, you can watch Ashley from the bottom of the screen. I'll be off to the right. Watch him come. He gets his hand up, matched up, and it's almost intercepted. I think Bradley, number 86.
Rich D'Amico.
Rich D'Amico, number 66, diving for the ball.
And now with 4:16 left in the first quarter, West Virginia 3rd and 8 at the Mountaineer 43. Now this time, West Virginia will use their tight end Rao, one of the Luck's leading receivers, split out to the left. 3rd and 8. Good protection. Here comes the pressure. Pass complete. Rao, first down, Penn State 46-yard line. A very intelligent passing offense by West Virginia.
Well, Ray, that's Rao's 20. This is Rao. Let's take a look at this. They open him up to the right of your screen. He's the tight end. Now, most of the receptions he has for the year are on 3rd down over the middle, and there's another one. That's his 25th reception for West Virginia.
So the Mountaineers have moved from their own 12, where they recovered a Penn State fumble, to a 1st and 10 at the Penn State 46. First down, here comes the pressure for Wisniewski, and he has left for a loss at the West Virginia 46-yard line. 45-yard line.
Well, that's the best pass defense in football. Let's watch Leon Wisniewski, number 69. He does it on his own. He penetrates, breaks the guard tackle seam, puts Luck down for a big loss.
Loss of 9. 2nd down, 19, West Virginia at the Mountaineer 45-yard line. Late first quarter, just over 3 minutes left in the period, and there is no score. Hollins will come left. Mullen, freshman out of Clareton, to the right. Penalty flag. West Virginia may have taken too much time. This will cost the Mountaineers another 5 yards. So it'll be now 2nd down and 24.
Well, both teams that are getting down near the other opponent's goal line are making errors.
Delay a game. On the ready. 2nd down.
Delay of game against West
The Mountaineers must reach the Penn State 36-yard line for a first down. Now let's see if Luck will try to get it all in one bite, George, or whether he'll...
I think he's too intelligent for that. I think he'll try to hit one of the hits it back, right?
Nothing at all for Damon Beasley, a senior out of Akron, Ohio, Leo Wisniewski played the part of the policeman. He stayed home and made the tackle.
Ray, on many defenses, when they do put the rush on, they do leave one tackle to cover for the draw play, and it looks like that's exactly what happened with Leo Wisniewski in that play.
Curlin Beck, a junior out of Bedford Heights, Ohio, number 20, is in the backfield now on 3rd and 24 at the Mountaineer 40. Pass complete, but a short gain to number 42, Mickey Walzak. Harry Hamilton was there, and it's well short of the first down, and West Virginia will apparently have to punt the ball away. That play gained 9 yards. West Virginia's punter is Fayetteville, West Virginia's Jody McCown. Deep are Hamilton and Jackson. I'm sorry, Robinson and Jackson. That hit a West Virginia player on the shoulder pad. I believe that will be a penalty against the Mountaineers. In effect, it's interference with a fair catch.
Exactly right.
Gerald Pinnell from Norwood, New Jersey. Please report to the first aid room under the west stand.
The voices you were hearing was that of the officials.
Ray, you know, strangely as it may seem, that penalty, it doesn't make any difference whether it was intentional or not. And it's a strong penalty. It's a 15-yard penalty.
It brings the ball all the way out to the Penn State 38-yard line. One minute, 50 seconds remaining first quarter. No score. Penn State threatened as close as a foot away from the goal line. Lost it on a fumble. Now Penn State 1st and 10 at the Penn State 38-yard line. Mike Meade, John Williams are the running backs. Mike Meade picks up about 6 yards out to the 44-yard line.
Penn State goes to a split backfield, a passing formation. It's a hand-back trap to the fullback. Mike Meade makes a nice cut, does his job, makes a good 5 or 6.
2nd down 4 at the Penn State 44. The wide receivers are Garrity and Jackson. Here comes Williams. Not enough for a first down. Penn State will be about 2 yards shy at the Penn State 46-yard line.
Here are two great Penn State players on an ISO. Romano, 53, Farrell, 62. They bury their people. Now, Jonathan Williams should have cut back to the inside, tried to get the first down instead of going to the outside. 3rd
and 2 at the Penn State 46. Seconds remaining in a scoreless first quarter. Williams, excellent defense. Loss on the play. Penn State will have to punt it away. And West Virginia, despite those tremendous injuries at defensive tackle, is playing extremely well defensively.
Well, once again, I think the strategy is what a lot of teams have done in the past to Penn State. Make them throw the football and stop the running game. And that's what West Virginia is doing right now.
Drury is one of the deep receivers for West Virginia. Ralph Giacomo, one of the leading punters in the country, and oh boy, does he boot this one. And the Penn State bounce. It's down inside the West Virginia 5-yard line.
What a kicker, what a kicker.
Ralph Giacomo came into this game averaging 44.2 yards per punt. We've reached the end of the first quarter. The score, West Virginia nothing, Penn State nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this. Edit cue. There was no further scoring. The quarter ended with the score, Penn State nothing, West Virginia nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this. Edit cue number 1. West Virginia took the opening kickoff, could not move, punted. Penn State has the ball. Edit cue number 2. After West Virginia recovered a Penn State fumble deep in West Virginia territory, the Mountaineers moved to Lion territory. Penn State's defense forced a punt. Penn State has the ball. We're back with second quarter action with Penn State in control of the football. We're back with second quarter action with West Virginia in control of the football. West Virginia from the West Virginia 4-yard line as a result of a fine punt by Ralph Giacomo. This is Beasley from the 4 to the 7.
Oliver Luck went to a long count that time, trying to draw the Penn State's defense offside. He's a very intelligent quarterback. It's a long count, straight handoff, doesn't want to get fancy and possibly cause a fumble.
Gain 3 yards. Second down 7 at the West Virginia 7.
Well, you know, Ray, Penn State misses Vecchio right now because not only is he a fine football player, he's a defensive leader. He's the one that fires them up, and their defense has to be fired up.
Roger Puz, number 55, a reserve linebacker for Penn State, was in the game for several plays. He's back out, and Steve Septer's replaced him. There's no gain on the last play. 3rd and 7 at the West Virginia 7. From the end zone, close to a first down.
I think he made it, especially when they spotted.
It is a first down, I do believe. The pass complete to the tailback, King Harvey, the freshman out of Dublin, Virginia. There's going to be a measurement, but I'm almost certain
this is a well-executed play. Now, he doesn't take too many chances on this. He fakes to King Harvey. Now watch Harvey, 33, slide out. Just a short pass. He wants the first down. Very intelligent throw by Oliver Luck.
Measurement for the down. Just short of the West Virginia 15-yard line, and it is a Mountaineer first down. So West Virginia has shown great ability to move out of deep trouble. They recovered a Penn State fumble at the West Virginia 12. Moved all the way into Penn State territory before giving up the ball. Now, as a result of a Ralph Giacomo punt down at the Mountaineer 4, they moved to a first down just short of the West Virginia 15-yard line. I'm really impressed with Oliver Luck.
Yes, he's got a tremendous amount of poise, which you would expect of a potential Rhodes Scholar.
Mullen is wide to the left. Collins to the right. This is the tailback, King Harvey. And the Mountaineers have had very little success running. It's obvious now that unless there's a big change in the fortunes of West Virginia, their running attack today will be nothing more than a token running attack.
The burden is put on Oliver Luck, and I think Penn State's defense must make something happen. I mean, they got to get fired up. They got to go on the attack a little bit more and get a turnover because he'll pick you apart.
Gain, 2 yards, 2nd and 8 at the Mountaineer 16. On the run, and a fine play by Paul Langford to keep that ball away from wide receiver Gary Mullen.
They're trying to get the ball to number 1, Mullen. Now watch Langford, 12, make almost the perfect play without getting called for interference, steps in front and knocks the ball down. Great play.
So now a key 3rd and 8 for West Virginia at the West Virginia 16-yard line. No score. 12 and a half minutes left in the first half. Mullen is out to the left again, working against Langford. Holland working against Roger Jackson. 3rd and 8. Oh, off the fingertips of Holland, who got behind Jackson.
Now, I'll tell you, that was a GD, and I second-guessed Penn State's defense for not putting the blitz on. Now, watch Hollins, 88, coming across your screen right to left. He's got too much time. This man can throw the football. He doesn't drop it, he runs it in for a score.
Robinson and Jackson back for the punt from Jody McCown. A Penn State bounce down at the West Virginia 44-yard line. There's a break in the action. The score, West Virginia nothing, Penn State nothing. We'll be back right after this. Edit cue number 3. Penn State could not move after holding the Mountaineers near midfield, following a great punt by Giacomo, and West Virginia has the ball. Penn State with great field position. 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 44-yard line. Here comes Williams, breaking one tackle. 4 yards to the Mountaineer 40, where he runs into linebacker Dennis Folks, a junior from Columbus, Ohio.
They got to get the ball over the top, Ray. West Virginia is defending Penn State like the other teams have in the past. They're playing for the run. They have a great running game. You must fake the run and throw off.
Garrity goes to the right side, the short side. Jackson comes out to the left, working against sophomore Steve Newberry. 2nd down, 6. Williams, he does not get a 1st down, but he's down to the West Virginia 37-yard line. It will be 3rd and 3. Were the deep receivers covered that well that he had to go short, would you say, George?
Well, they were covered well enough to go short. I like the way he dropped it off, but the point is, it's the play selection on down and distance, because, you know, when you're down, you're 2nd and long, they were looking for the pass that time. You want to use play action when it's on a running situation.
3rd and 3 at the West Virginia 37. 11 minutes left first half, no score. First down, Mike McCluskey at the 31-yard line of West Virginia, the big tight end.
Great point. Now this play situation is 3rd and 2. All right, it could be run or pass, but it's certainly a running situation. Then he goes to play action, hits his tight end, coming across the grain against the flow, and he's wide open for the 1st down. Now he should come back with another play action pass and try to go deep.
1st and 10 at the Mountaineer 31. He's throwing for Jackson. Incomplete. Steve Newberry did a great defensive job for West Virginia.
But again, he goes to the man that they would double cover. If he looked up to the corner of his screen, Garrity, number 19, was wide open. Good play selection. Come back with the play action pass. Try to get deep. Loosen up the secondary. He goes to the key man, Jackson. He runs out of real estate, but there was excellent defensive coverage on him.
Mike O'Donnell, number 28, replaces Jackson, who ran that deep pattern. 2nd and 10 at the Mountaineer 31 for Penn State.
Good situation for the draw play.
There it is, Mike Meade. All the way to the 5-yard line. George, did you read a signal from an offensive coach?
Once in a while, I'm correct, and that's not too often, but you got to mix them up. Okay, now they come back to the draw, split backfield. They're loosened up a little bit because he threw the ball. Give this big horse a little daylight. He's tough to take down. Good running by Mike Meade.
So 1st and goal to go for Penn State at the West Virginia 5-yard line in a game that is scoreless with 10:44 left in the first half. Williams to the outside. That's all. Touchdown. Williams has his 4th touchdown of the season.
Well, you know, Ray, I hope we got Jonathan Williams made. What's going on here? All right, Williams makes the play. Watch the block. He gets from the Kuntz, I believe, or Munchak, but Kenny Jackson, number 82, is not only a great receiver, he really does a job blocking on the flank.
Mountaineer injured on that play.
Let's see if we can find out who makes the key block. It is 78 Munchak. Coming around the corner, puts a block on number 2 Murray, but Kenny Jackson again into the action, getting his body in front of the defender.
We are not certain as to the identity of the injured player. We want to make sure. Number 80, linebacker Jeff Seals, a senior from Silver Spring, Maryland, was a Mountaineer injured. And the Mountaineers cannot afford many other injuries. They've lost some key players in the defensive line. Now they will probably go with Steve Hathaway, a sophomore out of Beaver, Pennsylvania, at that linebacker position. But meanwhile, we're awaiting the try for the extra point by Penn State's Brian Franco.
You know,
what do you think he's telling John Williams?
well, I think he's telling him to take it up inside first, get your shoulders squared away, make some ground, then take it to the outside. Don't try to outrun everybody all the time. You know, you're not in high school. You've got a lot of good pursuit coming at you.
Franco has missed one extra point try. This will be his 23rd attempt of the season. Rochelle is the snapper, Rakowski the holder. Franco kicks it. There's a break in the action, the score. Penn State 7, West Virginia nothing. We'll be back right after this. Edit cue number 4. After Giacomaro pinned West Virginia deep in West Virginia territory with a great punt, the Mountaineers were stalled after 1 first down, and following a West Virginia punt, Penn State has the ball. Edit cue number 5. Following the touchdown by Penn State's John Williams, the score is 7-0. West Virginia has the ball. Deep for Brian Franco's kickoff will be Al Bolden, 34, and Willie Drury, number 48. 10:38 to play in the first half as the first score is on the board, and Penn State leads 7-0. This is Bolden fumbling the ball, picking it up at the 4, and gets it out to the 16-yard line, where he's brought down by Penn State's Scott O'Donnell. In for number 42, Mickey Walzak. Brought down by Dave. See, Dave Papenroth is now in defending, number 33.
The man who makes the play is 37 Ashley, though, Ray. Watch, it's a quick pitch from a split backfield. And now Ashley forces the ball carrier back to the inside to Dave Papen.
Other changes defensively. Joe Hines, 52, is a defensive lineman now. Scott Radisick, number 97, is in at a linebacking spot. Second down. This is his number 1 receiver out of Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania, Mark Rao, with the tackle made by Giuseppe Harris, who is now in at a defensive halfback position.
Well, Penn State does go to a blitzing situation, but luck from straight drop back action has Rao coming across the middle, right to left. He's not too fast. He's big and strong, and that's his 26th reception of the year.
Ken Kelly, number 98, is in the defensive unit now for Penn State. He plays that hero position. He plays Hamilton. On first down, Oliver Luck with a lot of time. This is Rao again, the tight end, brought down by Kelly at the 33-yard line of West Virginia. Oh, I'll tell you, this is one of the best-looking, sophisticated passing offenses I've seen.
And this is what's known as taking what you can get. Now, he hits Rao again short underneath the linebacker coverage. You can see the linebackers dropping deep. He does a delay to the inside. He's not too fast, but he's got sure hands.
Second down, 3 at the West Virginia 34. Walzak does not have great quickness, and he has a little difficulty getting to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. Short of a first down by about a yard. Third and short for West Virginia. 8:45 left first half, 7-0 Penn State. Threatened once, did Penn State, lost the ball on a fumble deep in West Virginia territory.
Official timeout for
Measurement here. I don't think he had enough for a first down, but we'll see. He being Mickey Walzak, Jr. out of Saratoga Springs, New York.
will open its 1981-82
Short
season on the
by a
eve
foot.
of the Penn State Notre Dame football game.
What a great spot to fake the run and go to the air.
Well, you know, I'm just thinking he's liable to do it because he's got that much confidence in himself. And, you know, he did the same thing against the University of Pittsburgh, who's got a great defensive team. He just kept hitting them short. And they fumbled in the end zone once, and he had them down and threatening several times. He's an excellent quarterback.
Wisniewski checks in for Penn State. Rich Walters checks in. I beg your pardon. Scott Radisick checks in. Third and a foot for a first down at the West Virginia 36.5. Two tight ends. Hollins in motion. And the first down is picked up by number 46, Damon Beasley, at the Mountaineer 40-yard line. But one thing West Virginia is doing, keeping the ball away from the Penn State offense.
Exactly. They get a nice surge from the right side of the line. Everybody fires out. He got his distance and more. Beasley puts his head down, knows he has to get a first down, and does.
At the 40 of West Virginia. The wide receivers are back in the game now. Mullen to the left, Hollins to the right. Now Hollins got behind Jackson the last time West Virginia had the ball. Here comes a rush. Walzak on a little screen gets good yardage, gets about a little better than 5 yards to the Mountaineer 45.5, where Steve Sefter and Giuseppe Harris made the defensive play.
Once again, which we see more and more, a little rhythm screen, the tailback flares out. They release the offensive lineman after a delay of about 1 count, picks up the ball carrier, and he runs for as much as he can get.
2nd and 4 at the West Virginia 46. There's Hollins for another West Virginia first down at the Penn State 45-yard line. Giuseppe Harris made the tackle.
Once again, short stuff. Everything short. Now Hollins to the right of your screen on the sidelines, just goes down about 5 yards, does a turnaround. The coverage was playing him loose, and he makes the first down.
Roger Puz, number 55, checks into the secondary for Penn State, linebacker. First down, West Virginia, Penn State 45-yard line. Mullen to the wide side, working against Langford. To the near side, Hollins. The fake is to the tailback, and down he goes. Rich D'Amico. And there was good coverage that time of the receivers, and D'Amico was able to get to Luck for a big loss.
Ray, what happened? Penn State changed their defense. Now watch to the bottom of the screen. Walters 64. They're double covering the wide receivers, knowing that they could stop the running game to the inside. He had no place to throw the ball, and D'Amico, coming off a block, puts him down for a big loss.
Beck comes out. Walzak comes in at a running back spot. There was a loss of 9. 2nd and 20 at the West Virginia 46. 7-0, Penn State leading. Second quarter. Again, a lot of time. Pass complete, but for no gain.
And again, that was number 64, Walter, who did another fine job. He's only a freshman. He always seems to be in the right position. He's a smart football player.
3rd and 19 at the West Virginia 46-yard line. Do you think there might be some pressure put on here, Joe?
Absolutely. I'd second guess them if they didn't, but Oliver Luck might be ready for it.
3rd and 19.
4-man rush.
This is Hollins being chased by Robinson. Touchdown.
What a play.
This was Hollins. When West Virginia earlier had a third down, he got behind Jackson, couldn't hold on to the ball, or would have had a touchdown.
Well, we'll see it on the screen. Now, look, they only rushed 4. They didn't come with a heavy rush. Now, watch to the right of the screen. Is an arm's length away. Luck sidesteps, throws on a run, picks up Hollins running right to left across the middle. Has excellent speed, just outruns number 32, Robinson. West Virginia is really in this football game.
Merritt Turcan will try to tie this game up. And we have a tie at Beaver Stadium. A pause in the action, the score. West Virginia 7, Penn State 7. We'll be back right after this. Edit cue number 6. After the West Virginia touchdown, an extra point to tie the score at 7. The Lions have the ball.
Well, I felt that
Paul Woodside to kick off for West Virginia. Williams in the middle. Hamilton and Mumford are deep for Penn State. Kurt Warner has not played. Pulled a hamstring muscle. Williams will run it out. Just across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Well, we had a perfect example of what a good quarterback, which Oliver Luck is, can do when he's given time. He can get a receiver loose, and given the speed of a Rich Hollins, the result, 6 points.
Right. A good quarterback will be great without pressure, and an average quarterback can be good without pressure. And they have to put pressure on Oliver Luck, who's going to pick them apart.
Jackson to the right, Garrity to the left. First down Penn State at the Penn State 21-yard line. 5:43 left, first half, 7-7. Williams to the outside. Got a block from Munchak, but West Virginia's all fired up now. This defense suddenly says, hey, we're playing the #1 team in the country even. We have a chance.
Not only that, obviously they prepared for Kurt Warner, and they're keying on tailback. Now you got the defense is stringing it out, and this is what Paterno was telling Williams before. You have to turn up inside and make 4 or 5 before you can break it for anything big.
Gain of 2 for Williams, 2nd and 8 at the Penn State 23. Here comes Jackson. Mike Meade. And he has a first down at the 34-yard line.
That was not a smooth play. The fullback bumped into the quarterback, and actually Mike Meade makes it on his own. Watch this exchange. It's not a good exchange. There's a little bump there. And saw Blackledge step away. Meade took it to the outside. That's fine running. Underrated back.
First down at the Penn State 34-yard line. Garrity, first down, West Virginia 43-yard line. The fake of the run is what gives Blackledge time.
Well, yeah, I said it before that they come back on a first down situation. Now watch Garrity to the right of your screen. He actually could have smoked a cigarette. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then comes the football. He was so wide open.
First down at the West Virginia 44-yard line. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first half of a 7-7 game. Mike Meade.
All right. Move the ball around.
Down to the West Virginia 36-yard line, where Lynn Murray a senior out of Youngstown, Ohio. One of their safety men had to make the tackle. But a good gain. Meade picked up about 7 yards.
Ray, I don't care what level you play, high school, college, pro, you must have a balanced offense. You must have the proper dimension of running and throwing to be a fine football team.
Here's a 2nd and 3. Again, Jackson is used as the man in motion. Here's Williams. Down to the 15-yard line. Good moves that time by Williams.
That was a Kurt Warner move. He made a great cut to his left, as we'll see here. All right, they come back with the lead drawer. Right there, he saw a little daylight, made a great cut. Now, whether he would have gone farther to the inside or outside, we don't know, but he's got to learn to stay upfield.
First down, Penn State at the West Virginia 15-yard line. The clock is running. 3.5 minutes left in the first half. 7-7. Meade, he was really drilled that time by number 80, Jeff Seals, and number 90, Darrell Talley.
Once again, that would have been a great time for a play-action pass. 3 first downs on first down. Penn State's offense is kind of like a locomotive. You know, it chugs a little bit. When it gets its steam up, it can really get rolling.
There's number 25, Kurt Warner, suffering from a slight pulled hamstring muscle. He has not seen action today. There was no gain on the last play. It is 2nd and 10 at the West Virginia 15.
Run it.
Blackledge reaches the 8-yard line for a gain of 7 before linebacker Darrell Talley brings him down.
I hope Todd Blackledge has in his mind that he can make a first down on the 6-yard line about. Now, a quarterback, when he gets down near that goal line, must know all his options.
3rd down, 2.5 yards for a first down. West Virginia's 8.5-yard line. 2:10 left in the first half, and the clock running. Williams, close to a first down at the 6. He did not get it. That's the voice of referee Raymond Bauer saying 4th down.
Well, now West Virginia jumped to that goal line defense, and they decide to go inside. It's a good lead block by Meade, but there was too many defensive players pinching to the inside.
Penn State has taken one of its 3 timeouts. It will be 4th down. About a half-yard away from a first down at the West Virginia, well, a little bit inside the 7. What do you think?
I think he should kick it because the point is you always never deny yourself points. That's a long yard he's got to go for first down.
Brian Franco has been successful on 10 of 11 field goal attempts. This will be an attempt of about 24 yards out of a Terry Rakowski hold. Bill Rochelle is the snapper. 1 minute 51 seconds remaining in the first half. Penn State regains the lead as Brian Franco continues his outstanding place kicking. So Don Neyland's West Virginia Mountaineers certainly didn't come in here with the idea of giving up, George. They have played extremely well in this first half.
Well, Ray, they have an excellent record. You know, they're off to their best start in years, 5-1, and they haven't beaten Penn State in 22 years, and that's quite an incentive.
The deep backs will be Al Bolden and Willie Drury for West Virginia. 1 minute, 47 seconds remaining, first half. 10-7, Penn State has the lead. On a rather chilly afternoon at Beaver Stadium, 41 degrees, very little wind, only about 5 miles an hour, and certainly so far it has not been any factor at any time in the game. The contained men for Penn State on the kickoff are number 12, Paul Langford, number 23, Joe Krause, two of their defensive backs. Drury will not run it out. So again, Franco shows how very valuable he is to the Penn State cause.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen every kicking game in the country, but I don't believe there's a football team in the nation that has a better kicking game than Penn State, with the combination of Franco, with his field goals, extra points, and kickoffs, and Ralph Giacomo, who's averaging a little over 44 yards per punt.
Well, let's see what the Mountaineer strategy calls for. They have all three of their timeouts remaining. 1 minute, 47 seconds, and trailing by 3. Second quarter action from Beaver Stadium. Hollins, who caught the touchdown pass on that brilliantly executed play from Oliver Luck, is wide to the right. Gain of about 5 yards for Mickey Walzak before Ed Fritz brings him down.
Ed Fritz on the tackle.
I don't know whether that was to lull Penn State's defense into believing they're not going to go for a big gainer, but whatever, it took up 30 valuable seconds.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's thinking, and as we said, he's a Rhodes Scholar. He wants to get close enough for the field goal, and that puts him back with in a tie.
Kurt Bowman, 57, Al Harris, 88, are now in defensively for Penn State. This is Rao, the big tight end. He is a first down at the West Virginia 38-yard line. I can see why he's one of their leading receivers. He has a knack of getting open.
He's a big tight end with sure hands, likes to catch the ball over the middle, but Penn State's missing Palavecchio on defense. They're not fired up. They're not really playing with intensity.
1 minute 13 now left in the half. The clock has not yet been signaled ready for play, and West Virginia takes one of its 3 allotted timeouts right now. Oliver Luck was over on the sidelines talking with Don Nealon and his staff. The Penn State Nittany Lion getting his usual workout, although today, because of the comparative low score, he's not getting as much a workout as he had on earlier games this season.
As much as he'd like to. But, you know, what I think Coach Nealon's telling Luck, they're going to probably double cover the wide people. We've got enough time to run maybe some draw plays or some short stuff. Let's approach this as if we can get a field goal and come out with a tie.
West Virginia has a first down. The West Virginia 37.5-yard line. 1 minute, 13 seconds remaining in a first half that I am sure is much closer than most any football observer would have believed. Both Hollins and Mullen are wide to the right. Tail back in motion. Back. They're going to try. There's a penalty flag down. The pass is intercepted, but depends now on the penalty flag.
Penn State's offside. Penn State jumped on the motion. Defensive tackle. I can't see who it is right now. He jumped when they put the tail back in motion. It's Penn State offside. Let's see if we can see the defensive tackle. Right there, you see him move.
Leo Wisniewski.
It was Leo Wisniewski. He encroached. Didn't get back in time, and it's a penalty against Penn State.
So a 5-yard penalty. And it'll be 1st and 5, West Virginia, to nullify that interception.
Right, they're the kind of errors that make coaches' hair go gray, because a defensive tackle or any defensive personnel is not supposed to move unless the ball moves to the center, the snap of the center. And he moved on the motion of a halfback, and it's a big penalty against Penn State.
Penn State's defense will have Walker Lee Ashley, 37, and Rich D'Amico back in, number 66. 1st and 5, West Virginia to West Virginia 42. 1:06 now left in the first half. Here comes the blitz. And nowhere near receiver. The big pressure.
Well, I wish I had the statistics on Penn State's success with the blitz. They are one of the better blitzing teams in the country, and why they don't use it a little bit more often, I don't know, because there Oliver Luck had no place to throw the ball. He had too much pressure on him. You give him time, he's gonna find a receiver somewhere.
1 minute and 1 second now left. 2nd and 5, West Virginia at the West Virginia 42. The Mountaineers have 2 timeouts remaining. The blitz that time was by Ken Kelly, the hero back.
Here they come again. Little dump off.
This is Rao, the tight end, and it's a first down at the West Virginia 49, and there's a penalty flag.
I think it's going to be a personal foul for the late hitter of the face mask.
15-yarder. So West Virginia very definitely now on Penn State mistakes, moving closer to field goal range.
Here's a good example of what we call clearing out. Now, those 2 wide receivers are going to take the defensive coverage away. So Rao coming to the top of your screen. It's going to come in the vacated area right there underneath that zone coverage to make the reception, and he gets a personal foul on top of it. Penn State's not playing smart defense.
West Virginia has just completed a pass, tacked onto it a personal foul penalty against Penn State, and the Mountaineers have a 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 36-yard line with 40 seconds left in the first half and the clock running. No gain for Damon Beasley. Now I think West Virginia will have to take another timeout unless they go without a huddle. 30 seconds left in the half. Yes, West Virginia right now takes its 2nd timeout, stopping the clock with 29 seconds left in the half.
They wouldn't risk the not taking a timeout. What they're going to do now, they got 29 seconds, pick maybe one play they can get a little closer and then settle for the field goal. And they're lucky enough to get a touchdown, fine, but they want that field goal. Sure.
We should keep in mind when we're talking about Penn State defensively, the West Virginia touchdown came on a 3rd and 19 play when Penn State decided not to put any additional pressure on Oliver Luck. And he found one of his top receivers, Rich Hollins. Hollins has great speed, and he was able to outrun the Penn State secondary for a beautifully executed touchdown play.
Well, you know what happens in those situations, Ray? They hit somebody coming across the middle, and all the defensive coverage kind of centralizes on the ball, and if the guy gets to the outside, he's gone. And that's exactly what happened.
2nd down, 10, West Virginia. Penn State 36, 29 seconds remaining in the half. Mullen goes left. Hollins comes right, working against Roger Jackson. Comes some pressure. It was caught by Hollins as Luck did a super job. The ball is at the Penn State 20-yard line. 20 seconds left in the half. Luck is tremendous.
Well, we said that to put the pressure on, they did. That time Luck had to make a great play.
Clock starts.
They'll throw it out of bounds.
He's going to throw it out. Stop the clock with 15 seconds left. Now, I'm going to do a little checking here, see what I can find out about the field goal range of West Virginia's field goal kicker. 5 of 11 for, and I hope I pronounce his name correctly, Murat Turkan. 5 of 11.
Well, I think probably that's why they keep trying to get closer and closer, but the way he's throwing the ball, that was absolutely a great play. It also was a great catch by number 88, Hollins, off his shoe top.
2nd and 10, West Virginia. Penn State 21. 15 seconds left in the first half. Intercepted. This is Roger Jackson. He has great speed. Penalty flag down at the 22-yard line. Now, let's see if the penalty is against Penn State this time. If so, with 1 second left in the half, West Virginia would still have the ball.
I think it might be a clip. I don't...
It is against West Virginia.
Kenny Jackson is Roger Jackson. He's laying back. Now, look, they put the heat on him, forcing him to come out of the pocket on a rollout action. Roger Jackson steps in front. Now, if he could get one more block just about at this position here to have gotten up to the inside, we might have had an exciting run.
As it is, with 1 second left in the half, first down Penn State at the Penn State 21-yard line. Mike Meade runs for 10. And we've reached the end of an exciting first half. The score, Penn State 10, West Virginia 7. We'll be back right after this. There was no further scoring, and the half ended with the score, Penn State 10, West Virginia 7. We'll be back with the Penn State halftime feature right after this. Edit cue number 7. After Penn State regained the lead on a field goal by Brian Franco, West Virginia has the ball with Penn State leading 10-7. We're back with third quarter action with Penn State in control of the football. We're back with third quarter action with West Virginia in control of the football.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Penn State Band.
How long? 30 seconds. To what? George, I'm sure when this score is repeated in stadiums around the country, people will be amazed. Penn State 10, West Virginia 7. How did it come about?
Well, you know, what happens, you get a team that's going to take on not only the #1 team in the country in the ratings, but a team that they haven't beaten in 22 years. So West Virginia came in here to really knock them off. But it's been Oliver Luck has been very impressive. And I think that Penn State obviously is going to miss a Kurt Warner. You cannot help but miss a great back like that. But I think the key to it is they're missing Palavecchio on defense. Their defense is not playing with intensity. They're not putting the pressure on Luck. And if you let him throw the ball, he's going to give you a lot of trouble.
We'll be back with the second half action right after this.
Well, you see, when you're in one zone, which they were, and they got some, and somebody's coming across. Okay, all right. Now you see he's going to catch the ball. The natural intent.
If ever two teams lived up to their pregame label, the first half statistics would certainly point out that happened in the first half of this game. West Virginia was labeled a passing team. Passing yardage 162 on 14 of 21 completions, 1 interception for Oliver Luck. Penn State was labeled a running team. Penn State gained 147 yards running in the first half, put the ball in the air only 6 times and completed 4.
Well, Ray, what you say is exactly true. The one thing, or the one difference between a running team and a passing team, sometimes it takes you 7 minutes and a long drive to get a touchdown via the ground, running the ball, where when you're capable of putting it in the air like West Virginia is, and then in 2 or 3 minutes you can strike and get a lot of points up there, and that's exactly what happened. West Virginia came right back with Oliver Luck leading the way. He's having a hot hand. He's 14 out of 21.
Number 94 on the sidelines, not dressed today, is probably the key man missing from today's contest.
I believe
from
so.
a Penn State point of view.
Right, I believe so.
West Virginia, meanwhile, missing several of their best defensive linemen. Paul Woodside kicks off. John Williams at the 4. Somebody got an arm out, or perhaps it was a teammate to keep Williams from gaining really big yardage. Donnie Stemple, I think it was, of West Virginia got an arm out, and Penn State, as a result, will put the ball in play from the Penn State 25-yard line. 10-7, Penn State leading. A Brian Franco field goal is the difference. Garrity goes left. Jackson comes right. They each caught 1 pass in the first half. Mike Meade. A first down on the first running play. Lynn Murray made the tackle. Meade picked up 65 yards in the first half, make it a total of 75 now for the game.
All right, first thing, Penn State open the splits in the line. First running play, they give it to the fullback. Quick inside handoff. Makes a nice piece of real estate.
First down. There's Oliver Luck warming up along the sidelines, the outstanding West Virginia quarterback. Williams. 9 yards.
All right,
Penn
now,
State 45-yard line.
all right, they've been running off tackle and outside all the first half. Now they're coming back up into the inside. They got a great center in number 53, Romano, who's handling the nose guard, 55, Oblak.
Number 25, Kurt Warner, because of his right hamstring muscle pull, has not played in this game. 2nd and 1, Penn State at the Penn State 45-yard line. This is Vito Cab for a first down at the Mountaineer 40-yard line. Now Penn State is on the move.
Yeah, but again, you know, how many times we say it, but it always holds true. Okay, 2nd and 1, running situation. They come out with the pass. He's wide open. Turns a short yardage into a pretty good gain. Vito Cab, number 85.
First down at the West Virginia 40-yard line. Garrity goes to the left, working against Newberry. Jackson to the right, opposite Cedric King. There goes Jackson. Here comes Meade. Short yardage. Darrell Talley, West Virginia's leading tackler. Number 90, a junior from Cleveland, Ohio.
This is excellent defense, but this is a similar play. It's a belly type of a play, inside belly to the fullback. He has the option going inside, outside. 90 Talley plays off the block and makes the tackle, but Williams must fake a little better now to occupy the outside.
Gain 3 yards. 2nd down, 7. That hit the knee of Jackson at the West Virginia 26-yard line, and Penn State is faced with a 3rd and 7.
But it was a good call. It was a 2nd down situation. They went to the pass. Jackson was wide open, would have made the first down.
If you joined us along the way, Penn State is leading 10-7. Early 3rd quarter, Mike McCluskey checks into the lineup. He'll replace Vito Cab at tight end.
Good situation for the draw play. Hey.
A big rush, and now you see West Virginia on 3rd and long, put the pressure on Blackledge, incomplete pass, 4th down.
They blitzed number 2, the strong safety Murray. He's the man that come in clean. Let's see if we can see number 2 coming in clean. Will be to the left of your screen. Here he comes, right there. He forces Blackledge to throw under the receiver.
Giacomaro will try to pin West Virginia deep. Try to hang it high. Penn State couldn't get to it, so it's a touchback. And West Virginia will have the ball at the Mountaineer 20. There's a pause in the action. The score, Penn State 10, West Virginia 7. We'll be back right after this. Edit cue number 8. Penn State took the kickoff to open the 2nd half, moved to West Virginia territory, stalled. Following a Penn State punt, West Virginia has the ball. West Virginia, 1st and 10, Mountaineer 20, first possession of the 2nd half. Oliver Luck, number 12, the quarterback, had a brilliant first half, completed 14 of 21 passes. This is Mickey Walzak trying to get some running room, and very little there. In the first half, Penn State West Virginia ran the ball 17 times and gained just 15 yards.
All right, they're not in good field position, so they're feeling out Penn State. They go to the sweep. Walzak, number 42, there's no room to go, and they have not been successful on the ground. But he faked a bootleg off that, and Penn State didn't pay any attention to him, and let's see if he comes back to that kind of action.
Curlin Beck, number 20, replaces Walzak, 2nd and 9 at the West Virginia 21.
There it
He's still hiding the ball. Almost intercepted. Roger Jackson defending.
He came right off that bootleg, and he faked the sweep, and he come back, try to go up the sidelines. You must pay attention to the quarterback after he hands off. This time he fakes that sweep, comes back. Finally, it's a well-selected play. If Ed Fritz, I think 61, didn't tip that ball, they might have gotten that complete.
3rd and 9 at the West Virginia 21-yard line. Mullen is wide left. Collins, who caught the touchdown pass in the first half, is off to the right. Out of time. Wide open. Rao. West Virginia first down.
Ray, I really cannot understand how a receiver, Rao, has excellent hands. He does not have great speed. Now he is opened up, split out a little bit. Watch him come off here. He comes off on a diagonal. Now Kelly takes him, lets him go into that zone underneath. You got it. They have to have nobody coming up on the corner to play that outside zone.
First down, West Virginia. West Virginia 32-yard line. Fake to the tailback. There's Rao again, chased out of bounds by Langford, but a good gain on the play, about 5 yards.
Well, you know, but I know this is exactly the same play to the other side. Now, the tight end delays 1 count. Now, they got a linebacker running with him for short distance and letting him go. That time, they tried to stay, they rotated the cornerback, Langford, number 12, up, and they did a little better job.
Gain 6 yards. 2nd and 4 at the West Virginia 38. Close to a first down is Curlin Beck. Before Mark Robinson hit him out of bounds. Very close to a first down.
This West Virginia offense is a well-planned offense. They set their plays up. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're doing it with purpose.
3rd and less than 1 for a first down at the 46-yard line plus of West Virginia. Mountaineers will bring in an additional tight end, Jim Kaiser, sophomore out of Toledo, Ohio. Now, luck is not above passing in a situation like this. 3rd and less than 1. Well, premature movement by the left side of the West Virginia line. I'm not sure whether it was the tackle.
That's a break for Penn State.
That's a sort of a mistake that Penn State committed several times in the first half to kill off a possible touchdown in one case.
Well, the way they're hitting their tight end right now, 3rd and 6 is a very successful down. Most of Rao's completions, which are about 28 in the season, are on 3rd down situations.
West Virginia on a 3rd and less than 1 was guilty of illegal procedure. Loss of 5. It is 3rd and 5.5 now at the West Virginia 36.5-yard line. So instead of the short yardage offense, the wide receivers are back in the game. Luck out of a rollout. Pass complete. Just a beautiful offense to watch. Mullen, the receiver.
Well, that was really beautiful, Ray. They anticipated blitz. Now, the reason why they go to roll out, they anticipated a blitz. It didn't come. He rolls out. They pull a guard out in front of him. That's a leading back out there also. Spots Mullen in a deep crease, and he makes a great delivery of the ball.
First down, West Virginia. Penn State 45-yard line. This West Virginia drive started at the Mountaineer 20. 10:20 left, 3rd quarter. 10-7, Penn State leading. Out of time again. Short yardage. Paul Langford, the tackle on Mark Rao, the leading receiver of this game from the standpoint of number of passes caught.
Now, this is a similar play that they've run several times, only they put a stop on it. Fake to the tailback. Now the tight end goes out on the diagonal and stops and comes back for a short gain.
4-yard gain. Joe Krause replaces Langford at defensive halfback. The Kensington, Maryland sophomore, number 23. 2nd down, 6. West Virginia at the Penn State 41-yard line. This is Walzak. No gain. Excellent defense against the run. Ed Fritz for one, Mark Robinson for another.
All right, they have Penn State spread out, and they go to a running play, hoping to catch the corner soft. Slow play, he turns it back to the inside. They cannot run the football on Penn State, but they sure are having success throwing it.
3rd and 6 at the Penn State 41. Billy Evans is in as a wide receiver to the right, number 3 from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, a senior. Big play, 3rd and 6.
That's Rouse open again.
Wide open. First down. Penn State 34-yard line.
Great. They have to, if they're going to continue to play this kind of defense, they got to go to man-to-man on the tight end. Now what they're doing, and watch Kelly 98 take him with part of the route, the fake and tailback, and then he lets him go. And what he does, he just turns back up into the quarterback, willing to take the short yardage.
First down, West Virginia, Penn State 34-yard line. 8:40 left, 3rd quarter, but the Mountaineers on the move, trailing by 3. Here's the tailback. That's Curlin Beck, getting about 4 yards to the 30-yard line.
There are only 2 ways they're going to stop this type of a passing game. They're going to have to come off the corner with tremendous pressure to break the timing down of the pass route, or they're going to have to go to some man-to-man coverage underneath.
2nd and 6 at the Penn State 30. Collins to the right, Mullen to the left. This is Curlin Beck. Gets a couple of yards to the 28-yard line. And once again, a critical 3rd down. Oliver Luck has been tremendously efficient on getting his 3rd down completions. Matt Bradley shaken up on that play for Penn State. He'll be replaced. Kirk Bowman checks into the defense. John Walter, number 64, replaces Bradley. Bowman, the Mechanicsburg sophomore, comes in defensively. For West Virginia, 3rd and 4 at the Penn State 28-yard line on a drive that started at the Mountaineer 20.
And they've made 8 of 11 third down situations, and that's a sign of a good offensive football team.
They have the tight end Rouse split out to the left. Here comes the pressure. Ball batted in the air. Oh, with an eyelash of being intercepted by John Walter. But again, when Penn State puts the pressure on Oliver Luck, it's an entirely different defense.
Two different situations. Now, he was going to go to Rouse coming across. He's looking off the receiver. That's a good quarterback. There he is. What happened? The rush, people coming up the middle, got their hands on the football and knocked it down.
There will be a field goal attempt by Jody McCown. 45-yard attempt. Unless it's a fake. It is not a fake, and it is not good. Wide to the left. There's a pause in the action to score. Penn State 10, West Virginia 7. We'll be back right after this. Edit cue number 9. Following a missed field goal by West Virginia, Penn State has the ball with the score. Penn State 10, West Virginia 7. Penn State after the missed field goal. 1st and 10 at the Penn State 28-yard line. Second possession of the second half for Penn State. First possession ended in a punt. Here comes John Williams. And practically nowhere to go, and he gets only a yard. Mass defense led by number 90, Darrell Talley.
Well, the area to attack has got to be up inside. They're keying on tailback. As I said, they expected Kurt Warner to play, and most of their defense is going to be keying on the tailback. But once again, they're challenging Penn State to throw the football.
2nd and 9 at the Penn State 29-yard line. 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Second and 9. Garrity, first down. West Virginia 49-yard line.
Well, that's about the best executed play of the day for Penn State. What you have here, even though it's a passing situation, they got double coverage on Kenny Jackson to the right. The tight end coming across, clears out. Garrity runs an out, a deep out on single coverage, and the ball is right on target for the first down.
Hit out of bounds by Tim Agee, the safety man. First down, Penn State at the West Virginia 49.5. Mike Meade lost his footing just as he got to the line, and Rich Walters helped pin him down. So a gain of only a yard, 2nd and 9. Kevin Bow is wide to the left, number 11, the sophomore from Deer Park, who missed the early games because of injury.
I'd like to see them go to that quick post as they did in the first quarter.
Mike Meade, and West Virginia played that little draw play very successfully, limited Meade to just a yard. Darryl Talley, again, West Virginia's leading tackler coming into this game.
Darryl Talley made the stop.
3rd down, 8.
Who's ever calling the West Virginia defensive signals is doing a fine job. He's anticipating Penn State's moves, and he's guessing correctly.
A 3rd and 8 at the Mountaineer 47-yard line with 6 minutes now remaining in the 3rd quarter. This is Williams, and he gets the first down. There was intelligent running with the football. Dennis Folks made the tackle, but Williams gets the key first down.
Ray, this is what's known. If you play enough, you learn how to play the game. Now, Blackledge straight drop back. They went to double coverage on the wide receiver. It's a passing situation. Okay, dump the ball off underneath the zone, and now Williams goes for that first down, which he should.
At the Mountaineer 37.5-yard line. First down, Penn State. Here goes Williams. Comes back to the inside, gets about 9 yards to the Mountaineer 28-yard line. One good thing, I think, from a Penn State point of view, I would emphasize, George, when the running game is going right now, mixed in with the occasional pass, it keeps Oliver Luck and that offense off the field.
That's exactly right. You know, you don't want to get to a situation whoever has the ball last wins the football game. I like Penn State can pass well, and I'd like to see them keep going throwing the ball.
2nd and 1. Big hole for Williams. First down at the Mountaineers 17-yard line. Williams, I would imagine now, is around or over 100 yards for the game.
Right now, this time West Virginia guesses incorrectly. They thought it was going to be a pass. It was a trap block. Farrell just kicked out the tackle. I mean, you don't get holes like that normally. That was just great offensive line play.
First down at the West Virginia 16-yard line. Meade gets a little bit of running room to the 14-yard line, where he runs into linebacker Dennis Folks.
Now, here's the error that I think Penn State, is guilty of, and has been in the past sometimes. When they get in close, they're very reluctant to throw the ball. You're in a 2nd and 9 situation. It's a passing situation, and best, a throw-up play situation. If you think you're going to pound it in now and make the first down, it's pretty difficult.
2nd down, 9. Williams to the 11 or 12. This is just plain unadulterated. We're going to run no matter what you think.
Well, they're doing an excellent job in West Virginia of what we call stringing the ball out. Now watch number 55, Oblak, the middle guard. He strings it out, then it gives the time for the secondary to rotate up as number 2, Murray comes up and makes the tackle.
3rd down, 5 at the West Virginia 11.5-yard line. Jackson. Kenny Jackson off a pass hit by a defender.
Well, you know, You got a double wide receivers. Let's see what they do, what kind of route. Jackson, they're too close together, actually. There's Jackson drifting to the middle. He gets a tip ball of AG, number 44, and he's saying, I'll take it any way I can get it.
So for Kenny Jackson, his 4th touchdown reception of the season. Burkowski will hold for Franco. And point number 17 is on the board. There's a pause in the action. The score now. Penn State 17, West Virginia 7. We'll be back right after this. Edit cue number 10. Following the Penn State touchdown by Jackson to give Penn State a 17-7 lead, West Virginia has the ball.
Let's look at that touchdown from another angle. Now watch Jackson. It's to the right of your screen. Watch this, 2 wide receivers. Jackson curls to the inside. Garrity went to the outside. He gets lucky, gets a deflected ball off of the defensive back, AG, but the points count anyhow.
A new Beaver Stadium record crowd, 85,012. Drury and Bolden. Willie Drury, 48, Al Bolden, 34, deep for West Virginia. Short kick by Franco. Fielded by Drury. And a hole to the 24-yard line. Now let's see if Penn State's defensive strategy changes at all.
Willie Drury on the return.
I would have to pronounce Oliver Luck head and shoulders the finest opposition quarterback Penn State has seen this season. Would you agree?
Absolutely. You know, he sets up his plays well, as he did when he went off to that Blue Lake action. He's got tremendous poise. He does everything with a purpose, and that's the whole idea of good offensive football. I like to see Penn State pressure him.
This is Curlin back. And that's the longest run from scrimmage for West Virginia today. Junior Curlin Beck out of Bedford Heights, Ohio.
Well, again, this is good play selection. He changes up. Now he goes to the run. Wide play from a passing offense. Split backfield, gets a good block on the corner. 98, Kelly comes a little too deep across the line of scrimmage, allowing Beck to get upfield.
Walzak trying to break a tackle after a gain of about 3, but Mark Robinson, number 32, is able to hang on for Penn State. Mickey Walzak. Gain 3 yards. 2nd down 7. So West Virginia now has moved from its 24 to the Mountaineer 40 on the ground. In the first half, West Virginia gained only 15 yards running in 17 attempts. This is 2nd and 7. Now to the air. And down he goes. Number 98, Ken Kelly.
All right, now Kelly is what we call the hero. He's a linebacker, and they take him from the outside position. He comes on a blitz. There he comes. Ken Kelly, 98, gets up and makes the tackle. Put the pressure on the quarterback until he beats you while you're putting the pressure on him.
A loss to the West Virginia 34. It is 3rd down and 13. Wayne Brown, number 19, a freshman wide receiver from Somerville, New Jersey, is in the game for the first time for West Virginia. This is a 3rd and 14. A deep drop back, lots of time. He's going deep. He has oh my goodness! Paul Langford and Roger Jackson allowed Rao to get so far behind him. Now, I didn't say that those two were responsible for him, but Rao was behind him.
Ray, they are responsible because Penn State went into a 2-3 safety. A safety never lets any receiver get behind him. They each are responsible for half of the football field. Now, what happens, Rao coming from an inside position, split the 2 free safeties. He was running free, should have been delayed on the line of scrimmage.
4th down. Jody McCown to punt. Robinson at the Penn State 26.
Gets outside, gets a block. Every down.
Well, Mike Robinson ran about 75 yards, and he wound up with a return of about 13.
Well, I can't say it's good football. You can get away with it once in a while, but, you know, if he got caught back there, he would have taken Penn State out of field position, deep into their own territory. Now watch this. Any of you young backs out there, this is dangerous. You always want to be moving forward. Fortunately, once in a while, people get away with it.
Penn State from their own 39. John Williams to the West Virginia 48-yard line.
Point here.
Foul is now wide to the left, number 11. Sophomore wide receiver. Williams back behind the line on a good play by Darrell Talley.
John Williams carries.
Loss on the play.
Darrell Talley makes the
All
stop.
right, now, Talley is actually key in fullback. The fullback's going to lead the tailback most of the plays. He sees me coming, he comes. The old saying, you come, I come. Comes across the line of scrimmage, he puts Williams down. Got to run the fullback a little bit more up the middle and continue to throw the football.
Lost 3 yards. Maybe 4. Second and 14. Penn State 49. Seconds only remaining in the first half. That was Williams who went in
Look at
motion.
the tight end.
Oh, this is for McCluskey. It's intercepted. This is Cedric King at the Mountaineer 33-yard line. That's the first turnover by way of an intercepted pass by Penn State today. They lost 1 by way of a fumble.
Well, again, that wasn't a sharp play. This is the play they opened up against Syracuse. I remember it well. Put the tailback in motion, spread the secondary, try to get the tight end up the middle. He waits too long. Should have let him have it right there in the seam. A little too long. Number 15 comes across. King makes the interception.
So, first down, West Virginia at the West Virginia 33-yard line. Langford and Jackson are the cornerbacks. Safety man is Mark Roberts. What does here at first down? Goes to his tight end, Rao. Complete to the West Virginia 38-yard line for 5 yards, where Mark Robinson makes the tackle on what was probably the final play of the third quarter.
Now, this is like just playing catch. It's very simple. All Rao does comes releases from the line of scrimmage, keys the linebacker drop, as he does there in Fritz. Now he works to the outside. He'll take as many as those kind of plays as possible.
We've reached the end of the third quarter with the score. Penn State 17, West Virginia 7. We'll be back right after this. There was no further scoring, and the quarter ended with the score, Penn State 17, West Virginia 7. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right after this. Edit cue number 11. After Penn State took the lead on a touchdown by Kenny Jackson, the Lion defense held its fourth down, and West Virginia will punt. Edit cue number 12. Following the Penn State touchdown to give the Lions a 17-7 lead, Penn State's defense forced a punt, and the Lions have the ball. We're back with fourth quarter action with West Virginia in control of the football. We're back with fourth quarter action with Penn State in control of the football. As we start the fourth quarter, West Virginia 2nd and 5 at the West Virginia 38-yard line. This is Walzak, and there is a loss on the play. Steve Sefter.
Greg, once again, number 98, Kelly came from an outside linebacker, puts the blitz on, and let's take a look at it. Beat to the right of your screen. He forces Luck to dump the ball off. He can't get deep. Dumps it off to Walzak, 42. But now the secondary has time to come up, forcing Walzak to the inside, and he gets thrown for a loss.
It is 3rd and 8 at the West Virginia 35-yard line. going for Mullen, and Langford breaks it down. 4th down, West Virginia will have to kick it away.